When we see souls around us, sometimes we don't always know what we're looking for or what we're looking at. Um, I just want to say about the souls that are around us. Each one comes with its own way of letting you know who they are. And it takes a little while to figure out who's who amongst the family or who is a friend, such as sometimes you will feel a light tap maybe on your shoulder. And that's often, usually, and it's usually family. Which member of the family? I'm not really sure, but I will tell you that they all have their own signature as to tapping you on the shoulder or blowing your hair, pulling your hair a little. I mean, these things you don't really notice at the time. You just know that, it feels like something's in your eye, for example, and you keep wiping it away. Um, and all of a sudden you figure out, like, forget it, like, I can't get that hair. Well, you're not really meant to get the hair out. There isn't any hair sometimes. And when you look in a glass or a mirror there, you won't see a hair. So what you need to understand is that that is one of your family members making direct contact with you just to say, hey, I'm here. And it can be rather annoying, but it can also be very a happy feeling, a warm feeling, because sometimes they will come with a message, a knowing for you. And that goes on to say, when once they do contact with you, once you understand what that's about, then you can move on from there. Souls usually come also with a smell or a song, especially a song on the radio, or you know, when you drive in the car, all of a sudden you'll hear the song. And those aren't, especially when they're older songs, these aren't just random. These are the ones that meant something to you and your significant other. And it puts a smile on your face to know that they're watching over you as you're driving or you're going somewhere, especially if they recognize where you're going to, or if you're alone in the car, if you've had a bad day. Sometimes these songs will just come from nowhere. And it's like, oh, once you recognize, it's like, oh, hi, like, yeah, I gotcha. You're here. Okay, I love it. And you continue on your merry way. And as you become more pronounced to that, you're opening up your mind as to others that can also come to visit. And that's when you start getting a multiple of signs. Some say flickering lights. I've had that too, yeah. But it's not as consistent as with the taps, the breezes, the brushes, one side of your face feeling colder all of a sudden than another. And they're not bad things. These are the souls of loved ones who have gone on before you. And some people find peace in knowing that, although they don't come to grips with it until quite much later. And, they could be missing out on a moment of special connection. So I just wanted to make everybody aware that the souls actually have a way of connecting with you that's only for you. Okay, they may do something else for someone else, like maybe hearing a whisper in your ear, maybe tickling your ear. These are just different ways of connecting. A lot of times in sleep, in deep sleep, they will connect with you the most when the mind is at ease and it's open. And these dreams I love because they actually have a meaning. They actually take you back to a time and a place where connections have happened. And so you can actually relate to those. So it's just nice to be able to connect. A lot of times, souls will take you back to a time that you remember in your dreams. And they'll also connect with, if you were helping build something, if a special day meant something. And they will relive that with you. They will take you back to show you. A lot of times they are talking in your dreams as well, and sometimes they're leaving messages. So I know a lot of people say, I don't dream. You do dream. But it's more important to open your mind. And when you wake, first thing you wake up, or if you're waking up like myself, I usually, if I have those type of dreams of my dad and I fixing something or building something, then I will make myself aware that I need to write it down because it's usually that something's broken, something's not working well, there's a trip to be taken, things like that. So I usually try to keep that uh, and write it down. And I usually will as soon as I wake up. If there's 3 or 4 dreams, then I will make sure that they're all written because some of them are from friends that have passed that were nurse friends of mine. And they go back to the happier days of, of when we all worked together. So I do, make it a point to write these things down. And sometimes I will have to go back and look at what it was. Sometimes they're regarding animals. If you've had animals in the past, dogs, cats, birds, whatever, um, horses especially, you will also see them in your dreams. And they are actually also coming forward to remind you, especially if you've had a rotten day or a rotten week. Souls will actually come and vent that to you that now it's a happy time. You're sleeping. I'm going to remind you, for example, of the happy time. And it's going to make you feel warm and comfy so that when you wake up, you're going to feel a little better than you did when you went to bed for sure. So I usually try to say, keep an open mind, clear your mind, and enjoy that sleep. Because once you learn to see them, feel them around you, then you'll be able to maybe have a little bit more perspective as to what's happening on the outside, what happens to you after death, and what you're going to be perceiving then. Okay, I think it's a beautiful place where everybody's gone, and having contact with some of them sometimes it's an eye opener. We definitely have a little bit going on here, but there's a whole lot much more when we're, with God and above. Um, I can't really say anything about, not being on earth. I can only mention what I see here, not what's the next realm for sure. However, the smells are also there of loved ones who have gone on. You may hear their voice in a crowd, for example, and you may say, like, turn around and go, "Hey, John." There's no John. John passed away 3 years ago. Um, but there may be somebody that looks like John, sounds like John, and it could have been your brother, your uncle, your cousin. These things will also come to be that you will open your mind and you'll take that in. But it's could be their way of telling you, I am right here. I am wanting to let you know everything's fine. And that's basically the message that they're bringing is that everything's fine and you're going to be okay. All right. So they're sending love just in a different way than your next door neighbor or your friend would for sure. And a lot of elderly people do have this, okay? And they've grown, they've elevated themselves so that they're actually taking on more as they relax. And it's a shame that we have to wait until, we're in our 70s and 80s, 90s to appreciate what goes on next. And I think it's rather eye opening when you can at least acknowledge that they are there and they're around you all the time. Somebody's always watching you. Um, your guardian angel, for one, is definitely watching over you all the time. So if you should need help, if just for example, if you're going through something traumatic, you can reach out in your mind. You don't have to be, saying anything out loud, but think to yourself, like, spirit angel, please come to me now. I really need a hand hold. I really need somebody to help me. For example, I've done it when I'm having like oral surgery. I hate dental surgery. Hate it. And so sometimes I will say, like, please, please, please be here, spiritual. Please, please, please be here, angel. Like, I really need you now. And it's almost like a warm blanket that gets placed over you of hands. And you take a big breath and you breathe easy, and all of a sudden it's like a weight has lifted. Your mind has gone somewhere that protects you from that fear. It's unique. I love it. But sometimes I do have to call on them because I really am not into dental. Never was after I was a child and had to be poked every day of a week. Never, 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 never. So that's one of the things. Going under surgery, it's the same thing for me. Like, I just want them to be there to comfort me and look after me when I'm on the operating room table. And this is when I call my spirit angels and souls to come and be there for me, protect me. If I'm in an aircraft and there's a lot of turbulence, you're going to bet that I'm going to be calling on them. And another way that you can actually protect yourself is to think of being in a white cloud. That white cloud is the positive, the souls. And you can surround yourself, you visualize what you have around you, what's around the aircraft, what's around your seat. And you see yourself um, visualizing, you see everything around you is in a white bubble. Okay. You are protected by the white bubble of the souls. And all of a sudden, you stop, you automatically stop feeling as anxious as you were. And you hold on to that. You see yourself in a bubble. And that bubble of white, I always say it's the spirits, the angels, and their wings, are going to protect you from feeling that amount of turbulence. And I find it very soothing myself as well to protect myself in that bubble. Sometimes it is the whole craft that I'm putting a bubble around because I don't want it to go down. I don't, especially traveling around the world, we don't want, a major plane crash for anybody. We don't want to lose anybody. But we just want the air to feel a little more calm around the aircraft. Okay. And that's my way of dealing with that. So it's not that you're making up a story, you're asking your soul guides, spirit guides to come and help you calm everything. So though somebody else may be feeling the turbulence, you're not feeling anything at all. You're basically calming down now. You feel like you're kind of on that cloud. Okay. And it really does feel safe. And once you start to feel safe around your spirit guides and the souls that protect you, um, I think you'll find life a little bit easier. So going through any hard times at all um, can be very painful, but that's when you learn to call on the souls. So I'm going to leave that with you. And if you have anything that you've perceived as having been protected like that, you can let me know. I'd be interested for sure. So if you can you hit the like button and subscribe to my station? And that would be wonderful. Otherwise, have a good day.